From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Ryan Aber. Ryan, it's another 11 o'clock kickoff for the Sooners. It seems like that the Sooners cannot get away from that 11 o'clock start. We found out earlier this week that OU West Virginia here in another 10 days or so will be an 11 o'clock start. Bob Stoops, obviously not very happy with it. He made that known at his weekly press conference.
Yeah, not surprising at all. It made it known last year when they had a stretch of 11 a.m. starts. It's amazing. 5 out of the last 7 home games for OU after this West Virginia game will have been started at 11 a.m. And one of those you can throw out because the season opener this year was on pay-per-view, and OU sort of gets to dictate the time, and they're not going to go 11 a.m., especially at the start of the season. They want to go for a 6 to 7 range, and that's what they did. So it's pretty amazing that this stretch over the last 2 seasons of morning kickoffs, and it's difficult for a lot of reasons.
Well, Bob Stoops, I think he expressed his displeasure a couple years ago that they kept always getting evening kicks. Well, then they started getting the 11 o'clock kicks. He's not happy with that either. What do you think his displeasure with this stems from?
Well, and he said it. It's just about sort of spreading the wealth or spreading the misery.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess in this case, he didn't like all the night kickoffs because when you're playing at night, your fans are getting home really late. Your players are having to play really late, and that can be a tough situation, especially when you're on the road and have to travel back. It's sort of the same thing here. Although magnified for the fans, because the fans don't have all day to sort of trickle down to Norman. It's this big rush really early in the morning. You don't have time for the tailgate, the college game day experience on Campus Corner, things like that. And it just makes things more difficult when it's week after week of the same thing. And it doesn't look like this is going to let up anytime soon because of the way the Big 12 television contracts are structured. We've gone from the 2:30 games and the night games being sort of the marquee things, and now because of the Fox Sports 1 contract in particular, 11 a.m. is where they tend to schedule big games. And I don't think there's much question that on Saturday, October 3rd, OU West Virginia is going to be at least one of the big marquee games in the Big 12, but it's going to be kicked off at 11 a.m.
Lastly, is part of the equation the fact that OU Texas, that game is sort of locked into either 11 or 2:30. That has to be an early in the day game. Then OU has said, we're not going to play Thursdays. We don't want to play any of these non-Saturday games. Are TV executives maybe not punishing Bob Stoops? I'm not saying that because they are one of the more marquee teams out there. But the fact that they've sort of said no to some other things, does that create maybe they don't want to give as much maybe with OU?
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's really the case, but it does limit things because you're not going to have those Thursday or Friday games even. Right. You're not going to have OU Texas be a primetime game, which there's been several years TV executives would love to have that game on ABC at 7 o'clock at night. They've said they don't want it, and for valid reasons, with the alcohol, the amount of people that are around the stadium that aren't involved in going to this game. It just makes it really difficult to play that game at night. But I also don't think they're going to do them any favors outside of that. But the bigger thing is just the TV contract, the way it's structured. Right. OU, like you said, is definitely a marquee program in the Big 12. They're playing big-time games, several times a season. And with the way the Fox Sports 1 contract is written, you want those games at 11 a.m. Yeah,
and while Bob Stoops sees continuing 11 o'clock games as a bad thing, TV execs would say, that's a reward. That's one of our primetime slots, which, great irony there, I guess. I don't think Bob Stoops is laughing about it.
Yeah, I don't think Bob Stoops is too happy about that.
No,
anyway.
Definitely not. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.